もしかしたらバサギリのこと何か知りませんか？
バサギリ？
何か知ってるんですか？
話してもいいけど条件がある。
条件？
いきなりで悪いけど写真撮らせてもらっていいかな？
What's going on, trainers? What's going on? Perrin, petting, Perrin. Perrin, the best part of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, at least in my opinion. She had some of the funnest missions, not only in base game, but she had the best missions in 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭, where you go to the woods and you get to hear all the Arceus music. And she had the best missions in the Blueberry Academy, and she had you go and find the legendaries, which I won't spoil, but those are some of the funnest missions as well. And she's just an awesome person, and she has her Growlithe, and she battles you, and she gives you really things to do. Perrin is just a awesome complimentary character in Scarlet and Violet, and she makes her appearance here in Pokemon Horizons. This was the best part of the episode, and I love how she immediately didn't give up the information for Kleavor. She made Dot work for it. She was like, oh, you want to know about Kleavor? Let me snap some pictures. Let's battle first. And I was like, yes, I love that. And she finally gave her the information, and with next episode's preview, we see that she's going to take them to the woods, and they're going to meet Trevenant and a lot of other different Pokemon. So next episode is set to be lit. Now let's bring it back to this episode, and as a reminder, this was episode 71. This was kind of a boring episode. I have to tell you guys, this outside of Perrin, and don't get me wrong, Perrin just elevated the episode for me like a bunch, okay? Perrin just like skyrocketed the episode for me. But outside of Perrin, the episode is mostly boring. It was a transitional episode. It was all just set up with them, seeing Miss Briar for a little bit. Miss Briar made her appearance. They talked about the lake. They gave the hint because the lake is the place where you can go and meet the professor of the past. And they talked about meeting Lucius here, which makes sense that Lucius would make his appearance here at the pond because that's kind of the transitional area for time traveling and stuff. So that all kind of makes sense. But it was really just kind of setting it up. And then it was also just kind of like letting people who haven't watched Pokemon or letting kids or people who haven't watched or played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. If you have not played Scarlet and Violet and you are someone watching this, or especially for kids, you got to make sure that kids really understand what's going on. It's kind of educating you on, here's more about terrestrialization. Here's more about terrestrialization's past. Here's the orange book that was in there. Here's less filling in the gaps. Here is the normal form and the terrestrialization form of Terapagos. Here was the researcher who did it. Here's Miss Briar's connection to it. So it was just kind of like everything that in Scarlet and Violet that they really hammered in. A really good job. I love that game so much. That they really hammered in. They were just kind of hammering that home even more here. So it's just a refresher for those who are familiar with the games. And if you aren't, then it was just a real crash course on everything. So because of that, my eyes kind of glossed over a bit, and it was mostly boring. And you could just feel that it was a definite transitional episode, which again is okay. Pokemon does a lot of transitional episodes, but next episode looks to be the episode that's going to be really, really good. And again, it's all started with when Perrin was introduced this episode. So I'm going to leave you guys on these easy thoughts. This was a 6 or 6.5 out of 10 episode. Again, it's Pokemon. I love it. I eat it up all day and night. But really, it was about a 6.5 out of 10 episode, which is totally okay. The season in a whole has been at least an 8 or 8.5. Just not even the season. Let's just call it this core. Or no, let's just call it the anime. The anime has been about an 8 or 8.5. I would. And my heart tells me 8.5, which is really, really, really great, especially when you have a really long-running show. Pokemon Horizons has just been amazing. Like, the highs have just been 10 out of 10s. The lows are what balances out that rating, right? Like an episode like this, where it's like a 6 or 6.5. And there's been several of these episodes, like these transitional episodes, these boring episodes. There's been a ton of them. And because there's been a ton of them, when you have a bunch of 5s, 6s, or 7s, toppled, together with 8, 9s, and 10s, obviously you take the median, take the average, and really it's going to average out to about an 8 or an 8.5. So that's not a bad thing. Regardless, though, back to this episode. Transitional episode next week is going to be even better. This was a setup for Kleavor. Kleavor made a short appearance here when they were at the pond. So we're going to see more next episode. But let me know what you guys thought, trainers. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. 71 episodes. Jesus Christ, it's crazy. So much love to y'all. I'll see you guys next week. I can't wait to hear your thoughts about this episode in the comments below. And let me know, is Perrin best girl? You tell me. Go get photobombed. All right, my friends. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.